Hello YouTube! Out on this rather grey Saturday morning. The roads are nice and dry, so the GS has ventured out in January. Nice to get back on this rather than that little DR400. That's okay, but so small. The seat's tiny. Not the most comfortablest of bikes. It's okay, but not great, not compared with this. So we're just debating at the moment what tyres to buy for the GS. It needs a new set. I've been looking online to see what I can buy, so we can try out the new tyre changing machine that has arrived at the workshop. I'm not going to go for the same tyres that are on the bike now. They came with the bike from new because they're quite noisy. We want something something with a bit of grip. Not really too fussed about them being off-road tyres because I'm not going to take this off-road, so you know, good road tyres will be more suitable for my style of riding. So yes, we decided to buy a tyre changing machine. A little excessive, but I don't really want to take my... Oh, it's a bit slippery there. Don't really want to take my wheels in to get them changed. Well, there's a couple of bike shops that do it, I think, reasonably locally. You know, like 20 miles away. There's a tyre place which is up in Norwich, which is about 35-40 miles from me, and got quite a few bikes with various tubeless tyres. And you know what? It's just easier. It's a bit. Wasn't that expensive actually, the tyre changing machine. I haven't gone for the sort of top of the range one. I just bought a fairly basic one, but it fits in the workshop okay. And it will make life a lot easier. And also the tyre prices, you know, when you buy tyres online, they're a lot cheaper than if you buy them through a bike shop or sort of tyre shop with the fitting. You know, you can save over £100 on a pair of tyres, so it doesn't take too long to get most of your money back. And of course I'll gain lots of new friends that want to change their tyres on the machine, so yeah, something else for the workshop. We're fairly well kitted out in there now. I suppose the only thing I could do with is some bike diagnostics. I've got some stuff for the car. I've got a good snap-on code reader, but I don't think that'll work with the bike. But yeah, I might look into some bike diagnostics because it's quite handy. But the problem is, like with this BMW, a lot of the stuff you can't get into, I don't think, unless you've got the proper BMW software that you can only get if you're a BMW dealer. So it might be a bit pointless. But yeah, we can certainly do welding, tyre changing, a bit of machining, painting, although I haven't done that for a long time. Found a good painter locally, and he's not that expensive, and he actually does a really nice job. Sometimes it's easier to go out and earn the money and pay someone else to do the job, especially when it's their profession. Dear, the old fuel light's on there. Come on, you dick, it's gone green. Got to have a quick look, see what's going on. Nosy bugger. That looks quite nice. Amazing that this was the main road from Norwich to London at one time. Look at it now, empty. Thank goodness. Lovely little village, and yeah, I mean, this, you know, on a Saturday it would have just been absolutely nose to nose traffic. It was getting really bad along here, and we put a bypass in. It's so much better. It's a lovely little village now. Hardly any traffic comes through here. Remember when I was working in London, and first stretch of road, 5:30, 6 in the morning, driving down here in the winter. God. One idiot decides to overtake when he shouldn't have done. You have a head on, and then that's it. It's just a major disaster. But thankfully, that's all done with now. We have a bypass. The weather's been fairly kind to us so far this year. One more week of January left. And really, we've only got to get February, March out of the way, and it's all go again. Bit of warmth. Hopefully no salt on the roads. All the nice bikes can come out and get the riding season on the way. I've got a test ride booked in on the new Triumph Rocket R at the end of February, when I get the Scrambler service. That's due for its first service. Be interesting to ride that. I don't know what to think of that. It looks pretty cool, but it's a massive bike and it weighs a ton, and I don't know whether it's just too big, but I'm definitely going to have a ride of one. It's a lot of money. I think 19,500 English pounds, which is a shitload of money for a motorbike. Especially one that probably in a year's time would be worth about 12 grand. I mean, what I'll probably do, if I do buy one, I'll see how they go, and I might just wait, because there's going to be a lot of people that buy them and then just find them too heavy. So you probably get a lot on the market in about a year's time, with a few scratches where they've been carefully leant over. But we'll see. I might not like it. I just don't know whether it's going to be for me, that bike. I'm certainly not buying one this year. It'll probably be next year. But as I say, for 19,500, you just get a really nice GS for that, and I just think the GS is a better bike. I think if I did get the Rocket R, I'd probably sell the Thruxton and the Bobber if I was going to get the Rocket R, but I like the Thruxton and the Bobber. I haven't really ridden the Thruxton much. I mean, I've had that 4 years this year, and I've only done 3,500 miles on that. It's a great bike, but I just don't ride it a lot. I mean, I don't know what to do with the Thruxton. It might be time to get rid of it. I don't know. Trouble is, you know, it's done, say, 3,500 miles. Probably owes me about £14,000, and it's probably worth about 7. So I suppose really, when you look at it, to depreciate in half in 4 years is fairly good, because my BMW M2 is now worth about 28,000, and I think when that was new it was about 4650, and that's 2 years. So that's nearly, not quite, but nearly halved its value in 2 years. But you look at the Thruxton and you think, well, if it's only worth sort of 7 to 8,000 probably, if I'm lucky, is it really worth selling it? Probably not really. Probably just as well just to keep it. Oh, the smell of two-stroke. Is that an RD I see in our sights? Now here's a funny thing. RD350's, 350 LCs. People seem to pay quite good money for these bikes now. You're sort of seeing them advertised now for anywhere, a mint 350LC seems to be anything from about 6 grand up to about 12 if they're getting really carried away. It's unbelievable. I remember when you could buy a really nice one for about £1,500, and that's what they're worth. They're quite a funky bike. They certainly were in the day when they were affordable for all the teenage hooligans to buy, because they were quite quick at the time. You know, 350LC, it'd get up to sort of 80 or 90 mile an hour fairly quickly. Put a set of noisy exhausts on it. Great fun. But you know, people are sort of paying 8-10 grand for real mint bikes, so they don't use them a lot, but I don't know, this whole classic bike thing, it's just gone mad. I mean, I've got bikes, I was into classic bikes, but it's just gone absolutely stupid now. People are paying such a lot of money for this old stuff, and it's just not worth it. I don't really bother. I certainly wouldn't be buying any old classics anymore. I'm just not prepared to pay the hideous prices for all these old things. Look at this old thing smoking its tits off. Smells nice, brings back memories. Riding behind an LC. Genuine stuff's not available. I mean, there's a lot of this Chinese stuff appearing online, but I don't think that's that good. But the genuine stuff, if you want a bike that you think's going to be an investment, you need to have all sort of genuine stuff on it. So yeah, it's quite a dodgy market, I think. You know, exhausts, bits like that. People are paying a fortune for exhausts. I know RD exhausts, genuine ones, are worth a lot of money because they all got thrown away and people put microns, all speeds on. I used to work for a Yamaha dealer years ago, and when he closed up, he had boxes and boxes of LC exhausts, and I had about 5 pairs of LC exhausts in my loft up until about 20 years ago, and when I moved I cleared it out, and I just thought no one wants this stuff anymore, and I threw them all away. What a madman, that'd be worth a fortune now. All boxed in, Yamaha boxes, never used. And I sort of, back then eBay wasn't around, it was very hard to sell stuff like that, and I just thought I'll sod it, and I threw them away. Unbelievable, can't believe I've done it, but you know, that's what happens. But I do, you know, I like to look at old bikes. It sort of takes you back, but to be honest, I'd much rather be on a modern bike now. You lose a bit of money when you sort of change to a new bike after a few years, but you know, you have the experience of that bike. You've got to pay for an experience, you know, it's worth it, you know, the enjoyment of riding a modern bike. Oh, look at this brick, lovely. Oh, fantastic. Pull out in front of the guy and then go slow. Fucking arsehole. Anyway, now the conversation's going down towards the gutter. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. So yeah, tyre changing machines, classic bikes, all good stuff. Yeah, so nice to be back in 2020. Or is it 2020? Who knows? Who cares? So until next time, we'll see you again.